Radio launches a platform for you to project the peculiarities about your community and its environs, bringing you to the world news platform in and outside world. To share the update of your environs with Emirate Radio, please call 0913 415 8376 or 0806 134 6946. You can as well email info@emirateradio.ng. Visit our website www.emirateradio.ng. We are located at Emirate Radio House behind Federal Ministry of Environment off Old Jebba Road, Ilorin, Kwara State, Nigeria. Emirate Radio, the voice of the people. For communities in and around Kwara State, Emirate Radio launches a platform for you to project the peculiarities about your community and its environs, bringing you to the world news platform in and outside world. To share the update of your environs with Emirate Radio, please call 0913 415 8376 or 08.
From the studio of Emirate Radio, Ilorin. I am your regular host, Abu-Zainab Alasela. Today, before we move proper or go proper into the program, let me just drop a message to all our listeners as part of our routine message that we do give. Today, we want to talk about the power of choice. Power of choice. Remember, the greatest power on the planet is the power of choice. So everybody has the right to take choice, and whenever you take choice, you remember you are the product of the choice you make. Whatever situation you are is a matter of the choice you take, but you have every reason why you need to make another choice if you feel like you are not too comfortable with that. Viktor Frankl said, between stimulus and response is a space. In that space, there lies a freedom to choose. In those choices is your happiness and the development. So whatever thing you are doing in life and you are not too comfortable with it, so you can as well make another choice to correct your present situation. Remember, our Creator does not even choose for us. He allowed us to choose because as a human being, He gave us that sense to reason and to do whatever thing we want to do in life as far as it does not contradict what He asked us to do in life. Remember, let me just take you this. For instance, if you just finish your secondary school and you want to go to institutions, so you have every right to choose your course. It is not your Creator that chooses it for you. So the institutions, you choose it as part of your choice. The courses, you choose it as part of your choice. If you want to become a medical doctor, an engineer, an entrepreneur, so it's a choice. So today, if you think what you are doing today, you are not too comfortable with it, you can choose another choice. So the choice is yours. That is just the message we have to we have for all our listeners out there. Today, the program is going to start, and I have with me in the studio my guest. So, she is an entrepreneur. She is a seasoned entrepreneur, a producer who believed in the development of, economy of this country. She is part of one in a million who try as much as possible to work on the microeconomy of the country. So she's not any other person but Mrs. Latifat Osman Said. You are welcome to the program, please.
Thank you so much. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Well, Mrs. Latifat Osman Said, she is the CEO of Tifa's Treasure Crafts, a homemade nursing accessory brand based in Ilorin. Mrs. Latifa, can we please meet you?
Good morning, listeners. I am Latifa Utman Said, and I am the creative director of Tifa's Treasured Niche Concept, a handmade nursing accessories brand where we craft comfort and ease for the average Nigerian mom.
Oh, that is beautiful. If I may ask, do you know you are an inspiration to people out there, ma?
Yes, I do.
All right. So, but what you are doing presently, so can you tell us how it all started?
Okay, so innovate is the creativity is the mother of invention. The business actually started as me wanting to get something that I could not get in the Nigerian market. When I had my first child, I needed a nursing pillow, but I could not afford it. Then I needed a kind of bedding design that I could not afford also, and I grew up learning tailoring, and I went on YouTube and saw that this is something I can apply my tailoring skill to, and I made for my baby. And after making for mine, some people saw it with me and they liked it, and I made for people. Then somehow along the line, the business started.
Wow, that is great. So, if I may agree with you that you learned tailoring, and at some point in time you now connect it with what you are doing. So, what is really the connection between tailoring and what you are doing presently?
The connection is the sewing aspects.
Okay.
Tailoring is sort of broad. We have different niches in tailoring. We have the dressmaking, we have the art and craft. So this business is under the art and crafts.
Well, starting business in Nigeria seems not to be easy, then especially being a woman. But today you are doing wonderfully fine. So can you really tell us your experience being a woman and into this kind of a business?
Like you said, it has not been easy, but the thing is, whatever you want to start, just renew your intention, because it is going to get tough along the line, and it is your intention and your why that will keep you going. So the challenges are much. Like as a mom, you want to attend to the house, you want to attend to life, and you want to keep the business going. So it's not been easy, but priority and leveraging on my support system has really helped out.
Well, that is great. Saying some of the challenges that you are now telling us, but I want to believe that some of this challenge, has there any time that you feel like, no, this business is really not moving, so I'm going to quit? So has there ever any time that you felt like that?
A lot of time, actually. A lot of time. And what actually keeps me going is the feedback I get from moms that uses my product. And it always happens when I just want to quit. You just see someone just drop the review. Your product did this, your product did that, and that, and that, and that's just the pushing force. But there has been a lot of time that I want to quit.
Okay, well, since that you are telling us that there have been a lot of times, so can you just share with us maybe one experience that really made you like, no, I'm going to quit. So can you just share with us just one experience?
Okay, so the one that is coming to mind now is there was this order I processed, and after processing the order was because the business is actually an online business. We don't have a working shop yet. So it's basically online and we do a lot of deliveries. So I had sent out this order to Lagos late November, and by mid January the order was still yet to be received. Despite the recipient, my client, trusting me to deliver, it got to a point that she started doubting and she was like, "Are you sure you sent this order?" I was like, "I sent it, and I was even taking you through the process." And somehow along the line, I don't know where the word scammer got in, and the word really triggered me and it got to me. And then I was like, no, 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 no. Because the business cannot thrive without the delivery aspect. And since I have no control over delivery, I was just like, let me just stop everything and find another business that is less stressful, that doesn't even concern delivery at all.
That is serious. But at the end of the day, how were you able to, correct that impression that your customer was having? Maybe it's going to, it is a scammer or scamming and all of that.
Well, I think I was just reassuring her along the line, and at a point, I offered to send her another package, but she was like, "Okay, she's going to wait. This is not my first time. I know you already." And then I was calling the delivery company. At a point, they stopped replying, but sure, I was in communication with her, so I didn't keep the communication gap open. So I think that was what actually kept her. And then for a subsequent order, I compensated her. So that was how I was able to.
That is lovely. Well, as an entrepreneur, one of the major challenges is distribution, delivery that you have talked about. And I know in one way or the other, some of these must have been reoccurring. So how have you been able to, correct these, or how have you been able to work over these delivery issues so that you are not going to disappoint many of your customers or clients?
Okay, so initially we used to offer doorstep delivery via a third-party logistic company, but it got to a point that they become very expensive. Aside being expensive, when you have a deadline of say 3 days, that was the timeline they gave you. At the end of the day, you are saying that they are not even delivering after a week. So we just came back to the drawing board, and we resorted to doing pack delivery. Though it is more stressful because the company is not coming to pick up from our end and they are not delivering to our clients. But that is more it is a bit cheaper and kind of I think there is a bit of what is it called? Like you are sure that the order is going to be delivered that day or the second day. So it is left to your recipient to go to the park and sort it out. Because we have an arrangement with the park officials, so they make it much more easier than using the logistic company that once they pick, it is until they deliver. You don't have any control over that.
Oh, that is interesting. Well, I believe that life is full of so many things, positivities and negativities. But having you shared some of the challenges that you have faced in your business, so can you tell us some of the memorable times or beautiful times that you've had with this your business?
Okay, just like I said, I have a lot of challenges. I also have a lot of positive feedbacks and a lot of reasons to just keep moving. So the first time I was elated, I was on top of the world, was when I first got my bulk order from Instagram, and it was like, wow, so people are watching, people are seeing. So that was the first time. Then the recurring one is when I get a feedback from my clients that no, you are helping us to walk this mom journey in comfort. So that gives me the greatest joy.
That is beautiful. Well, as you've been able to sell through online and digital marketing, so can you share with us how you've been able to leverage on one-on-one selling or marketing?
Mm, Currently, the main strategy of the business is online, but sometimes, maybe during events and there is an opportunity for networking, I just talk about my business, but majorly we do online.
All right, that is great. Well, I want to believe that to some, young minds out there who are watching you and listening to us that have the mind to start something but they didn't know how to start. So, what do you have to tell them?
The only thing I have to tell them is to just start. Because if you don't start, you can never tell.
Hmm.
And the best time to start is now. You don't have to overthink it, and you don't have to have everything on ground before you start. Because if you want to wait till everything is 100% perfect, you will never do anything. And it is safer and better to grow along the journey so you can know where you are making mistakes, you can know what to do better and all, than you just plunging in at once.
That is good. To all your customers out there, how have you been able to satisfy them?
Part of our core value is quality, integrity, and customer satisfaction. And so we ensure that our clients get value for every kobo they invest with us. And it starts from the pre-sale stage, the way we welcome them into our DM, the way we handle their order. Then the post-sale support is one of our big strengths. We do follow up and we actually consult on how to properly use the products.
Well, at times, customers they do complain. So, and at times they used to appreciate. So, how do you deal with if they have complained, and how do you deal with getting feedback from your customers?
So let me address the feedback first. The feedback comes during the post-sale follow up. So when asking, have you gotten your order? Have you tried? Have you used it? This, that, do you have any question? Do you need help? So most times the feedback comes in through there, and sometimes without even asking, you get most of them sharing their user generated content, them using the product, how it makes them feel. They are free. Like we don't most times we don't ask before they willingly send it to us. And about handling the complaints, the first thing we do is acknowledge their complaint. Okay, this we are sorry you are experiencing this, or we are sorry you experienced this. Then we try and do some mini investigation to actually see if the fault is from us, or there is probably a misunderstanding of how to use the product. So once we get to the root, if the fault is from us, we most time recall the product and send in a new one. And if it is just a misunderstanding, then our job is just to guide the user to get the best out of their product.
And that is beautiful. As an entrepreneur, another challenge is finance. Finance. So this is just a universal problems as far as entrepreneurship it's all about. So how have you been able to cope with this?
The thing is, we just keep striving, and we will not let money be an excuse, because most times money is actually not the problem. There are a lot of things that we can there are a lot of alternatives that we can use instead of money. Okay, so part of it is, if you have a good rapport with your supplier, you can actually request for some credit facilities. So this has been helping. And finance is actually a very big problem. I don't have external source of funding, and for some time now, I think the business is funding itself, unlike in the beginning where we have to just borrow from family and friends, borrow to buy production material. Once you sell, you return back. And I think once I got a fund of 200k from the Faith Foundation, and that is the only time I ever got
A grant.
external fund. Yes,
Okay.
that was the only time, the 200k. Then at the early stage of the business, I had financial support from my parents, my husband, and that's all.
Okay, well, government is another aspect in terms of policies that they are making. So, which to some people they will tell you that the government policies have really not been helpful when it comes to entrepreneurship. But the question now is that when we are talking of the interest rates and maybe registrations, business registration, and some of those things. So, have you ever been affected with any of these government policies?
Mm, somehow, yes, there is no one that is not affected by one business policy or the other. And excuse me, the general one we are all affected by now is the removal of subsidy. So it's affecting every one of us. For the tax, not really, because I am still a small business owner. So the levy I have is still not much. So it's still a bit affordable. Aside the CAC annual what is it called?
Renewal.
Renew
What?
is it renewal? I don't know. There's
Okay.
this CAC annual charges. I think 3K or so that we pay. Then because my business is not an offline store, we don't get to pay the local government taxes and all. But we still pay our taxes online.
Okay. Well, considering the state of the nation now, the hike in fuel pump price, so how has that affect your delivery?
I don't know where to start. I don't know where to start, but the simple answer is it has affected the business generally. Like it's a big blow on us from cost of production because we rely majorly on fuel for powering the generator to be able to produce. So from that, our cost of production has actually increased, leading to an increase in the cost of the products. Then the delivery fee has also increased exponentially. You can imagine being charged for delivery from Zango here to Sawmill for 2,025 within Ilorin delivery. So it's not encouraging. That's just it.
Then, okay, we are talking of the delivery side. So, okay, let's talk about the raw materials that you used for your production. Then, at the end of the production, the costs of production is going to be very high. What has been the feedback in terms of prices, in terms of cost of materials you are producing to them? So, what have been their feedback, and how have you been able to manage this pricing of a thing?
Um, in the meantime, we've not actually had a review of our prices. We are still managing it, but our profit margin is suffering for it. And just yesterday, I was like, no, we can't continue like this. So we are going to be having a price review at the end of the month. So for now, we are still managing to survive on our old prices. But the thing is, the cost of production is not laughing at all. If you go to the market today, be rest assured that you are not buying for the same amount tomorrow. And I think why we are still able to survive with our old prices till now is we did our assignment properly on pricing from start. So the little adjustment, the little profit that we have is not very affected. But now we've exhausted our limits.
Oh, that is wonderful. Well, I believe that learning is a continuous process. So, ever since you've started this business, so have you been able to attend maybe seminars or workshops in line with this your business, or have you been able to heard of government organizing a program that is going to be that is going to be in line with your businesses? So have you ever attended any?
I have attended a lot because I am actually big on personal development, and I believe that knowledge is ever evolving. So for you to be up to date, for you to be up to date in your market, you have to continue learning. So I don't stop learning.
That is great. But since you've been able to achieve something, so do you have your apprentice that you also render such training to?
The thing is, the business is kind of a new niche, and people are yet to fully understand that aside dressmaking, you can actually do something else with your sewing machine. So people are not really very open now to learning the craft. But I think I have two people that are learning currently.
Well, there are millions of Nigerians out there who are watching you, and these people, maybe due to the fact that they believe that it's only when you have millions of naira to start something. So, what advice do you have to those people?
Millions of naira, then you're not ready to do anything, like I said initially. The thing is, the first thing you need to get right is your why. Why do you want to do this business? Is it a passion, or you just want to do it because others are doing it? If you want to do it because others are doing it, even if you have the whole million and you have it in excess, you won't be able to achieve anything. But if it is your passion that is leading you on, then with the minimum amount, like the most minimum amount, you will survive.
With the way Nigeria is going today, so millions of Nigerians are out there waiting for white collar job, and they will still tell you that whatever thing they are getting out of the school cannot sustain them in the real life. So what advice do you have for this set of people that they can still try to learn one or two things even after graduation from or after graduating from school? So what advice do you have for this set of people?
So learning is from cradle to grave. You can't stop learning, and no one is too old to acquire knowledge. So if white collar job is not coming, or you just spent the whole of your years from primary to university, you've not learned any craft, then today is a good day to start. And don't think that you are too old or too outdated to start learning. I have a sister that she started learning tailoring during her service year, and now she is a pro.
That's great. Well, some people would advocate for us having technical schools, whereby these are normal conventional schooling. So they will still say, okay, why can't government have this? Why can't private schools owners have these a technical school where people can go and learn some vocational programs? So do you also advocate for this, or do you believe on this?
Yes, I do advocate for it, because personally I have a son that is hands-on, like he prefers to do things with his hands. So I think if there is an opportunity for him to go to a technical school where he can merge the Western education with vocational skill, it is going to be of great advantage to him than just allowing him to finish the Western education. Then at the end of the day, you are still sending him to one organ to learn the craft from. So if it is in a formal setting, it is in a formal environment, it will be more tangible. Like the certificate will even be more appreciated. So I advocate for technical schools.
Oh, that is great. You see, our society today, you discover that many entrepreneurs, maybe after a year or 2 years of their businesses, so they won't be able to move further, maybe due to the way the society is in terms of our mentality, that no, I don't want to buy Nigerian made products, or I prefer foreign made to Nigerian made. So, and this has really affected a lot of homemade products. So have you ever been experienced this kind of things, or what do you have to say on this?
Well, personally, I have experienced this a lot of times when people think that because it is made in Nigeria, it is of inferior quality, or it has to be cheaper, like you have to sell at ridiculous amount. but that is not so. Because the thing is, handmade, it takes a lot to hand produce than buying a mass produced that is imported, because most of these products that are imported are actually not made with the Nigerian individual in mind. For instance, I'll pick the baby carrier, one of our products that we produce. The baby carriers that are imported, most of the baby carriers that are imported to Nigeria does not have the Nigerian mom in mind. And at the end of the day, you discover that people are like moms are like, baby carrier, I can't use baby carrier. It will give me pain in my back, it will give me pain in my chest and all. But when we were designing our own, as a mom myself, and with the experience I had with imported carriers, I was able to design something that would work for the Nigerian mom. And so far, so good. The feedback has been amazing. Even people that had used imported carriers before, when they tried our own, the difference was clear. So handmade, Nigerian made, we actually need to push our own.
While we need to push our own, I so much that the greatest challenges is raw materials. And maybe I don't know, but you can tell us. Maybe you source for most of your raw materials abroad, or you get them within. But you discover that in Nigeria, we have all it takes to even make raw materials for ourselves. But unfortunately, everybody believes that I can do it alone. I can do it alone. So we don't give that room for connection, so that we'll be able to leverage on our connectivity so as to make a mass production. So I guess you understand what I'm actually talking about. So what do you have to say on this?
Well, I think collaboration is what we should preach here, because when we collaborate, we achieve more. And the thing is, as Nigerian entrepreneurs, we need to advocate for continuous a continuous line of production. You can't do everything, and you don't even have to do everything. For you to be productive, for you to have greater output, you can't do everything. So you need to outsource a part. You don't really, there are alternatives. That is just it. If you are importing your raw materials from outside, there are always alternatives. But because you have that belief, but because we have that belief that if it is not from the abroad, it is not going to be of quality, but we can actually get what we want here. And the thing is, as Nigerians, we need to be as indigenous as possible. So if you are saying you are selling Nigerian made, you are selling indigenous products, then your raw materials too should be indigenous.
Well, your raw materials should be indigenous.
Yes.
But governments, have they really been trying to support local producers who can make all these raw materials available in the markets? Then don't at times I believe that government is trying its best, but we still have some private individuals who have all it takes to support all these kind of things that we are saying. So are they really trying their best as well?
I believe that Nigerian entrepreneurs, we are on our own. That is just it. We are on our own. The government might be trying, but there are people or there are agencies that are sabotaging the effort that is not allowing this effort to show, that we can't even see the effort. So I don't know, but most of us as Nigerian entrepreneurs, we are not really getting any support from the government. So we are on our own. We are just on our own.
That is serious. As an entrepreneur residing here in the States, so how do you connect with more entrepreneurs? So do you people have a place where you connect, where you share ideas, and where you talked about problems that is confronting you, and solutions on how you are likely overcome these challenges?
Yes, I personally belong to a business community that houses Muslim entrepreneurs from across Nigeria. So that's where we talk about our problems, the challenges, and how we discuss. So recently we talked about, there is this new policy in Lagos State about using the government banning the use of microplastics. Okay, so the policy is not yet in choir, but it is already established in Lagos. So we just we have to talk about it and brainstorm on the alternatives that we can use. So that is preparing us that are not in Lagos for the task ahead. So you know that, okay, anytime the government can also come, stop using nylon to pack. So what are you going to use? What are the alternatives that are available? And that is the power of belonging to a community. You can't be a loner. You can't do it alone. You need the support of your own people. You need the support of people that have and that share the same value with you. So if you are just a loner, if you are a loner and you are a Nigerian entrepreneur, you need to rethink your thoughts.
Well, you belong to such a community of entrepreneurs. Aside from talking, so, and while you are talking on some problems and preferring solutions, so do you have a way of supporting yourselves financially, or it just mere discussing and at the end of discussion nothing comes to support?
There are provisions in place to support financially. It could be in form of soft loans or
okay, the loans are coming within or outside.
Within.
But are there any efforts maybe to link up with some private individuals who can still assist to get over some of these challenges?
Not really.
So, and what would you need to tell maybe our listeners who have the mind of supporting young entrepreneurs?
Anyone that has the mind to support a young entrepreneur should know that you are not just supporting the person, you are supporting the person's dream. You're supporting a generational dream. And if you're able to support someone's dream, you are bringing faces to millions of people. Because at the end of the day, the person whose dream you support will produce, and the products that they produce is going to be a source of relief for the clients that are using the product. At the end of the day, or at the same time, we're going to open job opportunities for some people. So it's just a domino effect. You support one person and the person is supporting a whole lot of other people. Yes.
Wow, that is a fantastic submission there. So meaning that private individuals who have the mind to support young entrepreneurs, why can't you connect this set of people? So a lot of people are doing wonderfully fine, but due to the fact that many of them do not have access to fund, even despite the fact that they have taken that a whole lot of steps to make sure that they are able to scale up their business, but yet they are still in that. So please try to connect these young minds of Nigerians who believe in making or contributing to the growth and development of the micro economy in the country. But if I can also ask you this, as a Nigerian, and you have been opportuned to give an opportunity to just make one change in Nigeria, so what is that you're going to change?
As at today, like the change I'll request for as at today,
yes,
is the price of fuel.
So the price of fuel.
The price of fuel.
So which I so much believe that it affects virtually everything.
It is affecting every single thing.
Yeah, that is interesting there. Well, since we have been together with my guests, Mrs. Latifa Uthman Said, she is an entrepreneur, a value giver who believes that giving value to the society is going to help a lot, and she's also contributing to the growth of the nation's GDP She's the CEO of Tifa's Treasured Crafts, who specializes in the homemade nursing accessory brand. And I want to believe that my guest has really done a lot to ourselves and even to the society. And most of the things that she has told us here today, I believe that it has really impacted a lot of our viewers out there and inspire many. This is where we shall be drawing today's curtain of the moment with an entrepreneur. So I'm your host, Abu-Zainab Alasela. Till I come your way again next time, stay blessed.
For communities in and around Kwara State, Emirate Radio launches a platform for you to project the peculiarities about your community and its environs, bringing you to the world news platform in and outside world. To share the update of your environs with Emirate Radio, please call 0913 415 8376 or 0806 134 6946. You can as well email info@emirateradio.ng. Visit our website www.emirateradio.ng. We are located at Emirate Radio House behind Federal Ministry of Environment off Old Jebu Road, Ilorin, Kwara State, Nigeria. Emirate Radio, the voice of the people. For communities in and around Kwara State, Emirate Radio launches a platform for you to project the peculiarities about your community and its environs, bringing you to the world news platform in and outside world. To share the update of your environs with Emirate Radio, please call